welcome to Monterey County in California, and welcome to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. This is a place synonymous with Mazda MX5 racing, and on World Sim Series today we do have the MX5 Cup. 2 races, each of 15 minutes, with the second race having the top 5 on the grid reversed. This will be one hell of a show, and as always, I'm joined by Lodinas.
Good evening, Gustas, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second round of the MX5 Championship. As Gustas already mentioned, the second race will see the top 5 in a reversed order, and that helped Tunyla last week to clinch the win in the overall standings. He gathered equal amount of points with Nimz, but he has a slightly heavier car this evening. So BOP added to the cars is 15 kilograms to the car of Tunyla, 10 kilograms to Nimz, and 5 kilograms currently on the total weight of Mendelis, who is currently 5th in the qualifying session, and Nimz, as always, dominating it with fashion.
Yep, Nimz, as always, at the top of the pile. He's right now about 2.5 to 3/10 of a second quicker than anybody else. Tunyla is in third position, 36.4. Nimz aborts his final qualifying attempt. He's not going to go any better as the time has run out. This is Reese on his final attempt in tonight's qualifying session. He's still got an opportunity to maybe better Nimz's time. Tunyla looks to be stopped by the side of the road. At least
looks like, he was stopped by the side of the road, and Urmasris was also slowing down, so he will not better his qualifying position, but he might lose it because Karolis Miškelis is on his way to the checkered flag. Oh, and he will stay 4th at least. Made a mistake down the corkscrew chicane, lost the control of his vehicle, and is back to the pit lane. So a couple of drivers back on the still on the racetrack, trying to go slightly better. You can see that the gaps are pretty tight in the top 15. We have some slower drivers in the back end, but 11 drivers fit within 1 second of each other. And it looks like that's about it with the qualifying session. There are maybe a couple of drivers who are yet to complete the fast laps. I believe the qualifying session is over, so let's hop over to the results board, where Gustas Grimbergas will look directly at the results.
So it is Nimz on pole once again. Reese in second place. Tunyla takes 3rd with his 15 kilos of ballast. Nimz, by the way, on 10 kilos of ballast. Then it's Karolis Miškelis, Cantore, Mendelis with 5 kilos of ballast. Then it's Grudinis, Lapos, Sabutis, Caetano, Livell, Saldukas, Gudel, Budrovic, Abad, Mickiewicz, Pleman, Contreras, Krebs, and Loris rounds out the field in P20. The gap from pole position to the final spot on the grid in P20 is about 2.5 seconds, 2.3 to be more precise. It is a tight grid, as you'd expect in MX5 racing, but there's still a clear leader here in the field, and the clear leader being Nimz. We do have a few minutes of gridding time to go through as the drivers prepare themselves both mentally and maybe just a final checkup on their sim rig so nothing goes wrong. Andretti hairpin, that is a real choke point around this place, especially on lap 1. You do often see cars run into each other. That's, well, turn 2 you'd call it, but it is the first proper turn. Even turn 1 sometimes throws up issues, and obviously down the corkscrew, that will be an important, and the race has actually gotten underway. Well, we missed that, but race is now underway. Jan Nimz continues to lead pretty comfortably, as he always does, and heading down into turn 1.
Urmas tried to go around the outside. I believe Carlos Mendelis is out of shape and he was going sideways. Did he manage to keep it together? I don't see his name on the board. Oh, and there goes the next victim, and we have a huge crash actually in the first lap. Quite a lot of cars involved in this pile-up, and we have live stewards on board, so plenty of action for the steward this afternoon. So Meshkal is down in P11. Yep, trying to...
Yep, Meshkal is down in P11. Nimz still leads. Tunyla up into second. He's on a charge to try and get up to P1. That's his goal, having been second and first last time out. He's gonna hope to make it one better and go first and first. Reese in P3, Lapo in 4th, 5th for Grodinis, Flaman in 6th, 7th for Gudel, Budrovic in 8th, 9th for Contreras, and 10th for Krebs. That's your top 10. Mendelis down in 15th place. His goal, top 5, because the top 5, well, they get reversed for race 2. That's your goal, to get up into those positions. So, well, you can start on pole for race 2. Jan Nimz already pulling out 1.2 seconds at the front of the field, with the rest of the field running much closer. Tunyla has got Reese right behind him. Lapo is right behind him, and Grodinis is right behind Lapo. Pleman, he's 3 seconds off. He's been involved in that early shunt. Quite a few reports coming in for the stewards at the moment. We can see their report sheet, and a lot of incidents have happened in the first lap of the race.
I don't see the reported collision where Matas Mendelis lost all of his places. Maybe the stewards will have to take a look into the replay, because there was a big pileup. Matas Mendelis up to P14. Don't forget that 2 weeks ago Matas Mendelis didn't have a clean race also, but he managed to finish the weekend in P3 overall, so he's still got plenty of time in this race to try and finish slightly higher. I believe his main goal now would be to finish in P5 to have the best place to start the race in roughly 13 minutes. Jan Nimz pulling a decent gap now, 1.8 seconds against Tunyla. Urmas Rys and Yuri Lapo having a wonderful time. They are joined by Grodinis, who is currently 5th. 3 cars separated by only 1 second in total. So let's ride on board with Grodinis to try and catch up with Yuri Lapo, who is trying to chase down Urmas Rys. Urmas was pretty fast in the qualifying session. He dropped down to P3, and I think he's kind of not able to avoid small mistakes, which are not allowing him to stick up with Tunyla, who is currently 2nd. So Urmas Rys has to settle down, focus in what's happening in front of him, not in his rear view mirrors. Maybe he will get a chance towards the back of this race to put a little nice fight for P2 in this first race.
Yep, but I think he'd still be pretty happy with finishing 3rd. He obviously didn't run in round 1. So he might actually think of employing a strategy for P5. P5, well, that's going to be a hard task for Matas Mendelis, even though he's in this 1, 2, 3, I think 6 car battle. Or is it 5? No, I think it's 6. Now they've all slotted back in, but it is MX5 racing at its best. Matas Mendelis trying to get up the places, because he's well, obviously quicker than this pack is, but he's got a bit of damage on the front of his MX5, and he's now up into 11th. 10th is his next goal, but he's still quite a way behind, finishing in 5th. About 12 seconds behind 5th place.
Oh yeah, that's quite a lot. I don't see it happening in the 10 remaining minutes of this race. Carlos Meškelis is down to P13. I believe he has some damage because his pace dropped dramatically and he was running 11 at one point. Now he's running 13, having to play a little defensive game against Abad and Cantore. This is a nice little track for these MX5s to battle it all out. And it looks like the guys are doing a decent job. By the way, at the top, Urmas Rys is kind of slightly gaining on Tauras Tunyla. Yuri Lapo is still within the reach of the place that Urmas Rys is currently running now. So quite a tight 4-car battle at the front for P2. Jan Nimz almost 3 seconds ahead of all the other rivals. While we enjoy watching this battle for position number 13. Matas Mendelis still P11th.
Yeah, he's getting closer. He's going to try and make a move on Cayetano. A top 10 finish would... Oh, there's been a crash, and Carlos Meškelis is involved in that somehow, but Matas Mendelis, he's 0.3 of a second behind, so right behind Cayetano. Cayetano does not have a car close in front of him, which means he doesn't have the benefit of the slipstream that Matas Mendelis might have, but Matas Mendelis has a damaged car, but it doesn't look like Cayetano's car is perfect either, so this is a pretty fair fight between these two, and I think Matas Mendelis should try and make the move quite early, quite soon, and Cayetano, I don't think he's gonna fight this one too hard. And as down into turn 2, the Andretti hairpin we go. Matas Mendelis trying to go up the inside. Cayetano goes wide. Mendelis still on the inside, which is gonna turn to the outside. Cayetano's gonna have the inside into turn 4, and Cayetano holds on and, well, lives to fight another day, at least for now. He is continuing to push up in 10th position. He's going to go defensive, which is not something I expected to see from him. Matas Mendelis, if you're looking from his onboard, you can really see that that front end of the MX5 is quite damaged. He almost looked like went off the road, but he's super close to Cayetano. But it does look like he's just losing a bit of time down the straights. But beautiful run. I was going to say beautiful run, but he goes off into the gravel. Somebody up in front letting them through, and this is for position.
That's Krebs, who is having some difficulties, and good news for Cayetano, he managed to overtake Krebs. It looks like Krebs was involved in some kind of a spin, and he was running slower down the Rejo straight. But it looks like he's back up to pace, and well, Matas Mendelis has 2 cars in front of him right now, and that's already a battle for P9. Let's look at how Matas Mendelis will handle the situation with Krebs.
I think he's going to have to make a move down into turn 1. It does look like Krebs has some issues. It does look like his MX5 is damaged down to the inside, and he makes the move stick. That wasn't fought as hard as what Cayetano did. Now it's a battle for 9th that Matas Mendelis is involved in. It's still a big gap to the top 5, so that's not something that's going to happen.
No chance unless there is going to... a bigger crash is going to happen in those 6 remaining minutes. Otherwise, Matas Mendelis has no chance to finish this race in the 5th place to snatch the pole position for the 2nd race. By the way, in 9 minutes of the elapsed race, we have 53 incidents reported already, and that means that our stewards are going to make decisions after the race, so no live penalties will be applied, and the results might change after all the races are done.
Yeah, they're gonna have some work on their hands.
Yep, they are going to have a lot of work in their hands due to the large amount of incidents. Yep, and they will have 24 hours to analyze all the situations and announce the final results. Mendelis, he definitely has issues, and it looks like he was kind of slightly faster than Cayetano, but now he's kind of dropping back, is able to get on the tail, but that's the pace difference is not enough for Mendelis to try and make some kind of a move. He's still there, he's still trying, he's still giving a big push to Cayetano, trying to force him into some sort of mistakes. There's another car running slow. It's actually also for position. It was. That's Pleman, who is losing places and driving through the wall. Maybe connection issues or.
Yep, he continues driving through that wall, but sure. So 9th for Mendelis. Maybe that top 5 isn't so out of the question, because actually 6th is 5 seconds up the road. Okay, 5th is much more up the road, but you never know. If you have any more cars going through the barrier multiple times over and over again, you might see something change. This is the battle for 6th, just off that top 5 position. Rudinis is 5th. He's going to hold on to that bar any hurricane or earthquake up in front. To the outside goes Budrovic of Gudel, and get down into the Andretti hairpin. They will go side by side. Remember, the outside will turn to the inside if he can keep hold of it throughout turns 2 and 3. To the outside he goes. He continues on the outside, and just if he has enough grunt on the exit, now it turns to the inside for turn 4, and he's going to make the move stick. Up into 6th goes Budrovic. Goodale down into 7th, but this battle is far from over. You've still got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go, about 2 to 3 laps for your race leaders still to complete this evening.
Beautiful, beautiful battle, and that's what we expect of this championship. The MX5 are low-paced, highly gripping vehicles, so the drivers have similar pace and they are able to battle each other to the maximum. So Goodell was just overtaken by Budrovic, but well, Goodell shows clear signs that he is not giving up, and he is still sticking up with the back end of the Budrovic MX5 Cup back. And you can see in the background Cayetano and Mendelis are gaining and gaining fast on these two drivers.
The gap down to 1.2, so the gap coming down very quickly. Mendelis going off and having a creative interpretation of the track limits around WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca, but he continues on. Still 1 second the gap between him and Cayetano, 1.2 from Cayetano to Gudel. Budrovic has actually increased that gap, so it does look like he's just that little bit quicker, at least at this moment. He's taking different lines, and it looks like it might just be paying off in his consistency to keep up front.
Did we just start the final lap? That's going to be closed down the line for Jan Nimz, 1 minute and 5 seconds.
No, I think he's going to be fine to do another lap. Yeah, he'll be okay. He'll. There's one more at the end of this one, definitely.
That's good news for
20,
these.
He's 20 seconds ahead of this crew, so he's definitely
good news for this crew who are battling for position number 6. Bad news for Budrovic, and he runs wide.
Wow, I was going to say bad news for Budrovic that there's another lap, but he's delivered the bad news to himself by spinning off through that left-hander, and now this is a battle for 6th between these drivers, and well, Mendelis I don't think he was expecting to be battling for 6th.
But it looks like the damage on his car is not allowing Matas Mendelis to extract all the pace that he has this evening, and he kind of has to struggle to push out the maximum of the package that is available for him right now. He might have more expectations.
White flag in the air, by the way. It's one more to go here at Laguna Seca, but Matas Mendelis, well, he's going to be hoping to get up to P6. It's still possible during this last lap. He'll be able to then be kind of a rear gunner for Tunyla, who will be starting 4th position in 4th, and Jan Nimz will be starting down in 5th after that reverse grid, but it is now Gudel v Cayetano. Cayetano has been showing great pace so far, and Gudel has been struggling a little bit. This will, I hope, and I think will be a move down into the corkscrew. This is probably Cayetano's best chance, maybe onto the final turn, but this is now a defense from Gudel. We haven't seen that from him before. Getting inside, and they touch.
That's not a clean move by Cayetano, and a slight nudge for Matas Mendelis, while Gudel was
to the outside. He tries to outbrake him into the corkscrew. I think Matas Mendelis might just be able to hold on, because it turns to the inside for this. And now he's in front, and he's held that position. What did I say? It's not out of the question that he's going to be 6th. And, well, he is 6th. He still needs to hold on for one more turn. It is an overtaking zone into the final turn. Jan Nimz, by the way, takes the flag and wins race 3. And that's victories in race 1 and race 3. Well, race 1 at Lime Rock Park and race 1 at Laguna Seca. But here comes Matas Mendelis with a dream recovery. Nobody expected him to finish 6th after that start, but he does. He's going to be the rear gunner to Tunyla, who's starting in 4th. Jan Nimz will be starting in 5th.
So this was race number 1 of the second round of the MX5 Cup Championship. We had plenty of action.
He's going to go up to 6. I told you he has a chance.
Yep. He managed to extract the maximum performance of this first race. He was way down the order, I believe. In the first lap, he was 17th or 18th after that collision. But again, he managed to deliver, and similar to what happened 2 weeks before. So he will have a nice chance to make his evening even better in the second race. Of course, he has to try and avoid all those possible mistakes and collisions. It's tight into turn 1 in Laguna Seca. Actually, into turn 2, that's Andretti hairpin. So the drivers will have to maybe be a little bit more calm in the second race to avoid these big pileups, and to give less headache to our race control, who will have quite a lot of work after the races finish. Let's take a quick look at the results of race 1. So Jan Nimz took the checkered flag, and Tunyla finished 2nd, so that's exactly the same results we had 2 weeks ago. Urmas Rys finished 3rd, Yuri Lapov 4th, Graudinis rounded up the top 5 and took the pole position for race number 2. Matas Mendelis 6th, Cayetano 7th, Cantore 8th. By the way, Cayetano and Gudel had that contact, so stewards will have to take a look into what happened there. Cantore finished 8th, Gudel 9th, Budrevic 10th, Karolis Meškelis 11th, and he was just kicked out of the race. Not sure what's that about. Yep. He's still not back. So Livel finished 12th, Mickiewicz 13th, Saldukas 14th, Abad 15th, Contreras 16th, Loris 17th, Sabutes 18th, Krebs 19th, and Pleman 20th. We had drivers running a little bit higher up the order, but not avoiding different issues. like the driver of Pleman, who was driving through the walls a couple of occasions, different occasions.
Pleman is trying to rejoin. I think he's trying to fix whatever issues he has.
Yep, so let's take a quick commercial cool down, and we will be back with plenty of action from race 2, so stay with us.
We're back in action here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. We had to cut off that commercial break because it's 20 seconds before we go green. Grodinus on pole position. Race 1 winner Jan Nimz in 5th. Race round 1 winner Toras Tunyla in 4th. This is going to be intense. Lights out, and we're back to racing in the MX5 Cup. Looks like Mendelis had a decent getaway. He's trying to fight Cayetano. Cayetano's had a mega start. Jan Nimz in P5.
Oh, Grodina is losing lots and lots of places. Toras Tunyla and Grodina's had a small contact, and Nimz was also involved. Toras Tunyla going off the racetrack. Still plenty of action in race 2 in those first corners.
Cantori, that's Cantori fighting Nimz actually. Tunyla down into 5th.
And Grodinus is off the racetrack.
I think he probably had contact with Grodinus because, oh, more contact for Tunyla. More contact for somebody else behind. And Tunyla is now down in 6th while Nimz is up into 4th. And, well, seeing Nimz's pace before... Oh, somebody off the road as well. Seeing Nimz's pace beforehand, this is concerning for Toras Tunyla, and he's probably got a little bit of damage at least. Lapo leads the race. Reese in 2nd. Tunyla up into 5th now, but Nimz is up into 3rd. Cayetano splitting the 2 championship contenders. And where is Mendelis? 10th.
Yep. Down to P10, so lessons not learned, contacts not avoided, and Mendelis from P6 down to P10, and he will try to recover it back once again. Toras Tunyla side by side. Oh, there's a car spinning off the racetrack. That's Goodell. Goodell again is off the racetrack. What an unlucky race for the driver who was running so strong in race 1. Cayetano and Toras Tunyla battling it out, but it looks like Tunyla has the position.
Yep, he's gotten the place now. Yep, that's a position gain up into P4, but he's already 1.5 seconds behind Jan Nimz. Mendelis up into 8th. I mean, he's still got Livell up in front of him. Mishkalis in 6th. So Mendelis again trying to catch Cayetano. Mendelis didn't have the best getaway. That's how he lost that position to Cayetano. Down the inside of Mendelis goes Soldukas. Soldukas gets up into 8th now. That was actually a very easy looking move and probably easier than I expected. Soldukas trying to make it down the inside. Backs out of it. Thinks better of it. And now Soldukas down to the inside of Livell. I think he's going to complete that move. No, maybe
he
not.
Backed out. Oh, he backed out, and then he lost the rear end of his Mazda. So that's another chance for Mendelis. Tries to take a different line to have a better exit. Has to lift off because to avoid contact with Justinas Saldukas. Oh, Justinas Saldukas struggling around the racetrack, and what's happening with Livell? He just kind of slowing down. Does he have a penalty?
He could have from the corkscrew. I think if you cut it just a little bit too much, you might get a slow down penalty. I'm just looking at Tunyla and Jan Nimz. That was another 0.3 of a second lost. This is a great battle. Free wide. This is MX5 Cup racing at its best. Now Matas Mendelis finally helping out Justinas Saldukas to get through, but still not done. It's Livell back down to the inside because it turned to the inside for him and back in front.
By the way, Urmasris just took the leading position of this race. Justinas Saldukas and Livell both clipped that curb, and oh, there's a huge crash in the background. Both of the drivers took a line that was slightly too tight, and both of the drivers clipped the curb, and Livell ended up in a huge crash with his rival. And I believe this is it for Livell, as it was looking to be a good race. Justinas Saldukas dropped to 10th, leaving Matas Mendelis all by himself to try and catch up with the drivers ahead. Karolis Meškelis 4.7 seconds in front. Tauras Tunyla 2 seconds off Jan Nimz. Still, he might be hoping for some better situation as soon as Jan Nimz gains on Juri Lapo and starts making some moves. The cars will slow down slightly while battling each other. That might allow Tauras Tunyla to join the party. Caetano is running 5th. Right on his tail is Karolis Meškelis, our victim of the first race. It looks like the second race is going slightly better for car number 3, driven by Karolis. Tries to chase down Caetano, 0.6 seconds, so he managed to nail the fourth corner, the third and the fourth corner.
Really interestingly, Jan Nimz is not as quick as he was in race 1, and Tauras Tunyla does have a chance to close up to him. Because that gap is actually decreasing rather than increasing as it was during race 1. Now Tauras Tunyla needs to give it absolutely everything he's got, because Jan Nimz will be stuck, well, at least a little bit stuck behind Juri Lapo. And this is Tunyla's chance to close up on Jan Nimz and try and make a move against the very dominant German. If he can get that move done, well, it would be a repeat of round 1 in terms of results. Or he might think about staying behind and taking less of a BOP hit for next time round. This is Meškelis behind Caetano. Tunyla actually fastest lap of the race, 36.4, 36.599 for Jan Nimz. So Tauras Tunyla catching up 2/10 last time round.
And now Jan Nimz is stuck behind Juri Lapo, so the pace will drop even more, maybe not by much. Last lap of Juri Lapo was 37.2. He was 6/10 slower than Jan Nimz and 8/10 slower than Tauras Tunyla. And this is
Lapo defending. That's what Tauras Tunyla behind wants to see. Gap down to 1.4 behind. I would say Jan Nimz over Juri Lapo is inevitable, but to the inside here,
and there's a huge crash.
They touch, and Jan Nimz is off, and that puts Tauras Tunyla up into a beautiful second place. He didn't really have to even do anything to get up there.
I believe this is not the place to have your nose sticking right with the back end of your rival's car.
You have to really trust who you're coming up side by side with.
Or have your car at least side by side, but not by a tiny inch. That That corner is one of the most difficult corners on Laguna Seca. It's a fast and blind corner, almost flat out. Well, I believe the drivers lift in Mazdas before that corner, but it's a really bad place and really bad choice on the racetrack to make your move. We've seen a similar crash in the first race between Goodell and Cayetano. Now our race 1 winner is the next victim of that corner. He's down to P5, 2.8 seconds behind Carlos Meškelis, and Matas Mendelis is running 6th. Lapo down into P7 after that incident, and that's still not over. And even if Jan Nimz will finish 5th in this race or even higher, that's not going to be the final result, because there was a crash and another driver was involved and lost more places. So race control will have to take a close look at what happened in that particular situation. Carlos Meškelis and Cayetano still battling it out. Meškelis was slightly slower on the previous lap time, but he's still on the tail of Cayetano, and now that all turned into the battle for position number 3. Jan Nimz, 2.7 seconds, still behind, 5.5 minutes of race remain. I believe Urmas is pretty safe with his position. You couldn't say the same thing about Cayetano, who has the company of Carlos Meškelis right on his tail, mostly for the biggest part of this race, so he knows the lines of his rival. He needs to focus on his own race and just try to hit all those apexes as close as possible to hit that accelerator as soon as possible.
I mean, this is a chance for a podium as well, so it does get more difficult now because 2 cars went off the road, and now this has ended up being a battle for 3rd. Matas Mendelis will be beating himself up because he was supposed to be with Cayetano. He's down the road in 6th at the moment, 2.9 behind Jan Nimz. Jan Nimz probably has a bit of damage to his car as well, but not showing up in terms of lap time. 36.6, 36.4 by Tunyla, 36.4 by Reese. So it is a very, very similar running front 2, and Jan Nimz in 5th. Back down to the inside, they backs out of it. I think Carlos Meškelis has seen the
and good move. Good move. Yep. Cayetano just ran wide. So, well, he showed his car in the rearview mirrors of Cayetano, and that was more than enough to take that position. Cayetano maybe went in slightly too fast and ended up running too deep, and that allowed Carlos Meškelis to go through. Let's see how the situation will change as the drivers swapped places. Carlos Meškelis has clear track in front of him. So
remember, Meškelis was that driver who was being super smart at Lime Rock as well, pushing his opponents down the straights instead of trying to make desperate moves. Well, he's been smart again. He's seen the incredible amount of crashes that have happened at that left-hander, and he said, well, I'm just going to hold on for a bit. And he saw Cayetano in front make a mistake and got past him even before the braking zone down in to the corkscrew. Now through Andretti hairpin they go, but Carlos Meškelis up in front. With how smart he's been throughout this season so far, I wouldn't be surprised if he can hold on to the 3rd here, because it's just under 3 minutes to go in the race, so about 3 laps still to be completed by Reese. Tunyla pushing as hard as he can, but I don't think it will be enough.
Well, he managed to shave off 7/10 on the previous lap. Maybe Reese made a mistake. Tunyla nailed that lap, 1:36.2. This is the fastest lap of the 2nd race. The fastest lap of the 1st race was 1:36.250, so 0.4 of a second faster. It was achieved by Jan Nimz. Tunyla is definitely flying and starts to feel the car underneath himself. His fastest lap time in first race was 1:36.3. Yeah, but that's not going to be enough, especially if Urmas will keep it all nicely together And it looks like he is able to do that, at least for now, and that's more than enough. We will start the penultimate lap of this evening and this race. Dominikas Graudinis out of the race already. We have 3 drivers that will not finish the second race. That's Cantore, Loris and Graudinis. All 3 drivers are already out. Jan Nimz only 1 second behind Caetano. Will he manage to gain on his Brazilian rival and maybe snatch up that 4th position towards the end of the race? Would that be enough? I wonder who will be the overall winner of the second round. Tauras Tunyla finished 2nd in the first race. He's looking to finish in exactly the same position, but Jan Nimz, who won the first race, is currently 5th. Urmas Riss is currently 1st. He was 2nd in the first race.
No, he was 3rd.
Oh, he was 3rd. Yeah, he was 3rd.
So it might be Reese. Either Tunyla or Reese. Definitely not Nimz.
Well, maybe. Well, Jan Nimz might finish this race 4th or maybe even 3rd.
If he finishes 4th, it still would be Reese or Tunyla. Because Reese finishes first and 3rd. So
that's right. That's correct.
In either case, it would be Reese because it's the second race that is more important. Even if they do collect the same amount of points. So it's either Reese or Tunyla, one of those 2. But we'll figure that out once this race does actually come to an end. Jan Nimz catching up to Caetano. He's going to have 1 more shot added because it is the white flag in the air at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, and 1 more lap to go. Down into turn 1, this is going to be a chance for Jan Nimz to make a move, but maybe he's not going to be as desperate this time. It looks like Caetano just a little bit wide and off the apex. This is Lapo versus Mendelis.
Yep. Mendelis has some issues. He's really slow, and that allowed Yuri Lapo to gain on Matas Mendelis. This is the final lap, so well, he will have to show his defensive skills. So Caetano tries to push Jan Nimz to the outside, but that was not enough, and now Jan got the inside, and I think the move is already completed.
If it does look done and dusted for Nimz, Mendelis will stay in 3rd. Just looking through the points system, it is 30 points for first, 28, 26, 25, 24. So it would be an equal amount of points between Tunyla and Reese. It would be Jan Nimz 1 point down. So it is Reese who's going to I think win today. I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of confident about that. He does cross the line now to win at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca in round 2. And while the leaders made mistakes, Reese did a perfect job. He wins here in round 2, race 2, and he does look to have won round 2 of the MX5 Cup Championship. Jan Nimz does finish down in 4th place. Karolus Mendelis finishes 3rd. Beautiful result by him. Tauras Tunyla 2nd once again.
That was a nice drag race down the finish straight, and Krebs managed to overtake Mickiewicz on the final quarter, and he took... Okay, I'm already lost. Yep, Krebs took 11th spot. Mickiewicz dropped down to 12th. And that's about it. That is a wrap up of the second race of the second round in the Mazda MX5 Championship on the World Sim Series platform. And let's move over to our results screen, where we will see the final results of the second race.
The race takes the win for AOR Racing Team, followed by Tauras Tunyla, winner of round 1 and 15 kilos on his car. That was what he was running. Mendelis in 3rd. 4th for well, second in the championship coming into this round. He's going to be second in the championship coming out of it as well. Jan Nimz. Then it's Cayetano, Mendelis, Lapo, Soldukas, Plemons, Sabutis, Krebs, Mitskavicius, Abad, Livell, Budrovic, Contreras, Gudel, who's had a very unlucky day today. Grodinis, Loris, and Cantore rounds out the field here at Laguna Seca.
Yep, that was a really nice race weekend. By the way, we had 3 divisions starting this afternoon. Gonzalo finished first, while Rossi crossed the line second.
Hasn't finished yet.
Oh, yeah, yep, exactly. They didn't finish
and it's
yet.
4 tenths between them, and Leo Bryan's actually there in third. He's also in that battle, 1.2 behind he was. So close racing in Division 2 as well. And if anyone watching wants to join, head on over to worldsimseries.com, sign up for free, and come race the MX5 Cup on World Sim Series. We are heading down to Okayama, so across the across the Pacific Ocean, from California onto Japan and onto the Okayama Piper Circuit. We go just 2 kilometers in length. That's our next race in the MX5 Cup. After that, we'll head to Donington Park and the national configuration for that. Then it's Tsukuba and rounding off the season at Brands Hatch.
Only top 20 drivers in the series standings will get an invite to the final round to battle it out for the championship and the champion crown. That's it for this evening. Hope you enjoyed the racing action of the MX Cup 5 Championship, and we will hear you on next Sunday in the 1-hour team championship. Have a great evening, and we'll see you then.